I don't want this vlog to be like a, you should take this, you should take this. These are just like, we've got these and we use them while we're at stayaways. We find them great, we find them really useful. This isn't a, you should bring this, you should bring that, and if you don't do this, you're doing it wrong. It's not that in any way. It's just hopefully helping some people out who are going to their stayaways for the first time and they're not sure what to bring, or people going to Pony Club Champs for the first time. But yeah, that. Hey, hi, hello, hi, what's up? Hello and welcome to a different type of vlog, and hopefully this is going to come out a lot quicker than the other two event vlogs that are due to come out. There are two event vlogs that need to come out, but I thought I would also film this one and hopefully get it out quicker, because it's pretty not complex, simple is the word I'm looking for. But I put on my Instagram story, and if you don't follow my Instagram, I'm going to put it here. So go and follow that now. It is livy_eventing. So I put on my Instagram that Pony Club Champs is only 30, I think it was 36 days away yesterday, so 35 days away. And I will have not uploaded my vlog yet, but I have qualified for Pony Club Champs, which is very, very exciting. So I've qualified for the eventing, which is on the Friday and the Saturday. And then there's show jumping. Our show jumping qualifier for our pony club was last weekend, which was the really hot heat wave, and it was about 33 degrees, and we were jumping at literally the hottest part of the day. It just wasn't worth going. And there's also nowhere else we can qualify outside of area, because the only the next pony club show isn't, it's this weekend, but it's in Cornwall, and I don't live anywhere near Cornwall, so that was not going to happen. So we just take a miss on the show jumping this year, which I mean, we might not have qualified anyway, but anyways, we're going for the eventing and we're doing the 100. I am very, very excited. I put on what's everyone's tips for stay away shows. We've done a few stay aways with Roscoe, a few with my sister's horse, and I wanted to share this video because a few people were asking, am I straight? Have I just done this whole thing and I'm not straight? Anyways, a few people wanted to know what my tricks were and what was said in the question box that I put on my Instagram story. So I'm going to start with my tricks, and then we're going to move on and I talk about other people's, or I'll just mix it all in. But anyways, you're going to get the gist. So here is a tips and tricks on what to take for stay away shows. So I was thinking I'm going to link it to Pony Club Champs. This is the big national champs held at Off Church Bury. I have been the last 2 years, this is only my 3rd year going. Both years I've stayed over. Last year I did the eventing and that was over 2 days. And the year before I didn't stay over, that was a lie. The first year I just did the dressage. I didn't stay over that year because it was just one dressage test. But we did have a stable because we had 2 very attached ponies and we couldn't let them know that they were both here. So we had a stable and then a kit won by the lorry. But I have also groomed at Pony Club Champs 1 year, so the year before 2024, so 2023 was when I groomed. So I know my way around Pony Club Champs. They've been helpful for all the stayaways that we do and have done. So it's going to be helpful for not just Pony Club Champs. So you are joined with me by my lorry. This is the other side of the tack locker, so our tack locker goes straight through. This is we keep all of our numbers here and other bits and bobs. But this right here, I'm going to have to squat the camera down, lower the camera down so you guys can see even more, apparently. Here we go. Right. So you may have seen these around and you may have seen a few people with them, but this is honestly, if you were to take anything away from this video, it would be this trolley. It is the best thing I think we ever bought for stay away shows. Need the other part to it. And boom. And I won't lie to you, it does need a little bit of a clean, but you get the gist. And I'm gonna show you up a bit more close. So here is the trolley. This is honestly a lifesaver. You can see it's got compartments on the side, compartments at the front. It's quite sturdy. It's got brakes on its wheels. You've got the hard bottom that you can take out, and then it folds up like I had it before. But the reason why I say this trolley is probably the one thing you should take away from this video, because it is so handy. You do so much walking, especially at Pony Club Champs, and I'm sure at any others. The one that we did, Addington Spring Festival Pony Club Champs again, but an earlier one in the year, not as big. It was done at Addington, and we didn't use this as much, but having it, it's a game changer, just like for tack and boots, and like you don't want to be like going back and forth to the lorry. Big Pony Club National Champs, you've got two very separate fields. Because we do our eventing area qualifier there. So when we went a couple of weeks ago, I filmed it, and I'm going to put this video in now, but you can see you drive down a road in the middle and you've got two big fields on either side. One field is for your camping and where all the lorries stay, and the other field is that's where the stables are. The stables are, depending where you are in the campsite, the stables can be quite a far walk. So this, carrying tack over, carrying just like feeds and other bits and bobs, so much easier. So much easier. So this trolley, I can't actually remember where we got it from. Knowing us, it's probably from Amazon. Like, can't do wrong. But this, we've used it so many times, it's definitely worth its money. But not sure if you guys can tell I like this trolley. So the trolley. So got a nice long handle. First, scooch it down. That goes completely out of the way. Take this out. And there is just a hook in the middle. Pull it up and boom. And then there is this. And boom, there's your trolley. I just hit my head. Okay, next stay away tip. Actually, I say this and I found it rather difficult. So the last stay away we did was, actually maybe not the last one we did, but one that I can think of was Spring Festival Champs at Addington, and we were in the permanent stables there, and we actually couldn't hook these onto the stables because they weren't curved, they were flat. They were like, I think they were Monarch stables, to be fair, but it was like a flat where the bars were, so these actually struggled to stay on. But for Pony Club Champs, and to be fair, Pony Club Camp, we have used these at Pony Club Camp. These are just from Shires, just bridle hooks, quick, easy, hook on, just for head collars, bridles, rugs, fly masks, other hanging bits and bobs. Don't ask why we've got two different colours. We just do. But there we go. I would also recommend these. They're not expensive. Just get them from Shires. Not sponsored by Shires, by the way. just where these are from. Another thing, what I'd say is great to taking to stay away shows, and I feel like this is a pretty common one, but I'm just going to reiterate it. So many white numnahs. And just numnahs in general. Like, you want navy ones as well to go hacking with, or like leg stretching or arena familiarization. You don't want to be in the case, oh, that number's not very clean. We literally, I couldn't tell you how many white numbers we have. But there we go. I think that's everything from this side. No, that's a lie. Chairs. I feel like I don't need to show you what a camping chair looks like, but camping chairs, they are great. Taking them anywhere. These ones, we've got 3 that live in the lorry because there are 3 of us usually that go out. Like, there are 3 of us horsey people in the family, so we don't really need any more than 3. Be sitting around with. Good to take. You can always take them over to the other side to watch. I say the other side, it's the other side of where the campsite is, where all the competition and the rings all are. You know, you can take those over, set up a perch, say if you've got the day free and you're like staying over. Chairs are great because benches get filled up quickly. So that is all from this side of the lorry. I'm going to go the other side, then we're going to go in the lorry. I'm going to show you. Oh, and then we're going to go also to the back of the lorry, which is freshly jet washed, although I think Queenie has been in it, so maybe it's not as fresh as I left it. So welcome. I hope the look is clean. It is clean. It's tidy enough. Welcome to, I forgot to show you the saddle stand. That is another great one to take. Bringing a saddle stand to sit in front of your stable is another great one. I also think I actually really want to get one of those ones that you can hook on and then it like folds down, like just like a bar for a saddle. I'm going to insert a picture up here so you know what I mean. But a saddle stand is also great. Cleaning in the evenings, especially because it was so dusty at Pony Club Champs last year. I had to clean my boots and my bridle in between phases and days last year. We have in the tack locker. This tack box lives in our lorry. So this has got all the bits and bobs that we usually need. But another thing about this, let me just close it down. This is also a box. This is great to plat on and just using a mountain block. It is just other bits and bobs that you might need a hard solid box for, to stand on, to put stuff on. You get what I mean. I don't think there's anything in here that I really think, oh yeah, that needs to come to a stay away. Other than we have a grey. This, I'm gonna put the video in from last year, Roscoe's poo stain. I used this on it. It is the NAF Muck Off Stain Remover. Yeah. As you can see, it doesn't get used much because I do just tend to bath them all the time, but for a stay away, this is really helpful, especially for a grey pony. My goodness. Okay, so I do want to move on to this in a bit more detail later, this brand. But this is, so both dry rugs that we have bought, if you don't know what a dry rug is, I will get onto that later. But for now, both dry rugs that we've bought, it was at shows. And there was a show offer that you get this dry mitt. And I am so glad that we were there and we got them then, because this is so handy. Just puts in your hand. It's the material of a dry rug. And it is so good for especially ponies with white socks, just quickly drying their feet off, or just anything really. This is a great, so definitely a dry rug mitt. So we use, for after eventing days, after hard work, pressure on the pony's legs, we use either of these two. We have been a solid white ice fan, which is by Barrier Health, for a long time. They smell wait, this. Oh, it's like, oh, it's like smelling vapor rub. Oh, I haven't smelled that in a while and I didn't realise how strong it was going to be. Anyways, white ice, great. It's by Barrier Animal Health Care. We have bought, I think we bought this one at Champs last year, and you can see, it has been used a lot. It's also good to take to pony club camps, any camps. Hence the reason why it is named, because we took it to pony club camp whenever it was, or I took this to camp, pre-season camp. And then there's also another good one that we use, which is by NAF, Ice Cool Gel. This is just for after the ponies, after they've had ice boots on, but it can be tricky for stayaways to have ice boots and have access to a freezer. So these are always good, that I always take as a backup if I can't have ice boots or straight cold water or cold ice straight away. Cold ice? Frozen ice. I don't know what the words for that is. But yeah, for the leggies, especially out eventing, I don't want this vlog to be like a, you should take this, you should take this. These are just like, we've got these and we use them while we're at stayaways. We find them great. We find them really useful. This isn't a, you should bring this, you should bring that, and if you don't do this, you're doing it wrong. It's not that in any way. It's just hopefully helping some people out who are going to their stayaways for the first time and they're not sure what to bring, or people going to Pony Club Champs for the first time. But yeah. Okay, so I think that is everything. Another thing we take with us everywhere in the lorry is a steps. Yeah, getting on, plaiting. Another one for the grey owners, lovers. You don't have to be both. You can be an owner and not love them. But another thing which is really helpful for stayaway shows is bandages, keeping their leggies clean overnight. So you use the, oh my gosh, what's it called? What's it called? I can't think of what it's called, but like the foamy mesh. Oh my gosh. That, and then some bandages to just wrap up their legs and keep them clean overnight in the stable. Right, that is the tack locker done. Let's go into the back of the lorry, and I'm going to talk you through the rugs that live in the lorry and are good for stayaways. Okay, so the rugs that I would definitely be taking away would be a sweat rug. I feel like that's pretty. Bring a sweat rug. This, an equi-dry equi-blanket. This, a equi-dry equi-blanket. These are great to take away with you because they can be a picnic blanket. They can be a waterproof layover for a horse when you're waiting to walk the course and it starts raining. Put this over so your tack and saddle don't get wet. It can also be great for just covering up things when it's raining. So definitely recommend. It also doubles as a sleeping bag. It folds in half and then you've got a sleeping bag. If anything happens, this is great to have. I wanted to just quickly touch back on the ice boot scenario. There is this thing called Equestrian ice. I really want to get some, and I think that's definitely going to be a purchase I get before Pony Club Champs. They are, I'm going to put a few pictures on the screen, are these ice cooling bandages that you put on instead of ice boots. And obviously for a stayaway, like I said, if you haven't got access to a freezer or a really good like igloo thing or a Yeti cooling box, then it's a struggle to keep your ice cool. Pretty standard, a snuggy hood for a grey. But this is Roscoe's. This is one of Roscoe's. Roscoe's got a winter one and a summer one. This is his summer one. It's more like a lycra material. I think this is inside out actually, but just being cleaned actually. Smells very fresh. And then his winter one is here. This is a lot more heavy duty, water resistant. So that's that one. Another thing I'd say, take with you, like I said, saddle pads, like a darker colour saddle pad to go hacking in. Yeah. Another thing I would say is great to take is a spare head collar and lead rope. You never know, they might snap, they might break. You don't want to be left without a head collar. Like, I'm sure there are shops there, but if you can prevent buying something new, unless you want it, then it's always a good thing to take. Like, I always take Roscoe's show one, which he goes in, and then I take his backup field one that we use for everyday purposes. So I said about earlier dry rugs, and that is Dry Rug. This is their logo. This is actually, it's an extra large one, which you probably saw on that sticker that I just showed you, but this was bought for an old horse, but it does get used because they are perfect. They are this drying material rug. This is another thing actually a few people have suggested over on Instagram. They say that they use their dry rug. They are expensive. I think they're about, I'm gonna fact check it now actually. I'm very glad I did fact check that, because depending on the size you want, they're like from £150 to 220. I would have gotten that wrong if I'd have just said a number out there. But there we go, there's the price of dry rugs. They are, they're a bit spenny, but they are definitely worth it. We use ours all the time for bathing, just thin rugs, other bits and bobs. So a dry rug isn't a must, but it's really super helpful, especially for those greys. Okay, I'm now sat in the lorry. I don't want to go over too much in here. I just want to say a few bits and bobs. Hair nets. So many hair nets, so many hair bands. Flip flops, Crocs for showers. That was it. Cash for a stable deposit. We always keep a minimum of £20 cash in the lorry for stable deposits. Some maybe not that big, some maybe smaller. But most places take a cash deposit for the stables, and then you get it back at the end if your stable is clean and tidy. But yeah, cash for a stable deposit. Another thing on stables is you obviously buy your bedding there, and you go down, and most shows and most stayaways is you get an empty stable. For Pony Club Champs, it's on grass, but we went down to Bicton once, stables on the concrete surface, and there was no mats in there at all, which meant that we had to end up buying, I think it was 4 bales of shavings, left with loads of clean shavings at the end, and you don't know what to do with it, you don't want to throw it away. You put, like, what we did is we put a lot in our lorry, but we were like, there's still so much, like wheelbarrows of just clean shavings. A perfect thing to take: bin bags, big sacks, like the big sand and gravel sacks, if you've got spare ones of those, they're perfect to take, because then you can fill those up with the shavings, and then you can bring them home and they're not wasted. Some places can be a bit funny about them, but bikes are really good for putting up champs. We bought them last year. It's quite a distance, just like all around everywhere. Especially if you're doing eventing, you want to go over that. If you want to go over that cross country course a few times, since you're there anyway, and the cross country course is like just the other side, but you don't want to like have to walk the whole thing because you're a little bit lazy, then go on a bike. Go on your bike. It's a really good thing to take with you. Also, if you can figure out a way how to go on your bike and drag the trolley with you, game changer. Absolute game changer. You know, there will be some places, and also at Pony Club Champs, like there are some places you can't take the bike. You know, that's just the way it's got to be, and you know, you've got to completely understand that, and that is from a safety point of view. What we always keep in the lorry, which I think we've used more at stayaways than in general, is some double-sided sticky tape. You never know when it's going to come in handy, which actually leads me on to stable plaques. When you leave your horse in the stable, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you know, you can have a perfectly angeled pony that stands in the stable all the time. Something might freak it out. You know, a temporary stable is a lot different to a permanent stable. You know, you've got flappy sides. Like, I'm not saying something bad will happen, but anything could happen. And if you are just, I don't know, walking the cross country course, having a jolly, having your barbecue for that night, and you don't know about your horse because there are so many horses on site, having a stable plaque with an emergency number on, or 3, I always put me, myself, and I put all those 3 numbers. No. I put my number, I put my sister's number, and I put my mum's number, because we're always the 3 that are at a show. I mean, I'll, like, say if my sister's not there, my mum will pretty much always be there. But say if my sister's not there, you know, if she does get rung, it's not the end of the world. She's going to know what to do. She's going to then ring one of me or my mum. But having that number as a precaution, having the horse's name on there, just, it keeps things settled. And also, if you've got like a horse that's prone to choking, like, don't feed this one carrots, don't give this one treats. You know, you've got one that bites, put that on there. It's just for the safety of other people and for the safety of your horse at the end of the day. I made one last year, and I will put a picture up. I had great fun doing that. But this year I think I'm going to get myself a personalised plate that is more permanent, and it can come everywhere with us, because that one literally only lasted the duration there. A Sharpie, you never know when you might need to write your name on something, you know. Okay, since I've now waffled on about all of mine, I'm going to go over the really good ones that I have been sent through on Instagram. Aware of when you can get in your stable. Some stables you can't even get in until 4 o'clock. So don't arrive thinking you're going to go straight to your stable and not park in the right place, because, you know, Pony Club Champs, you've got the separate day parking, and then because you can't have horses in the campsite. So you have to park in the day parking and then move over to if you can't get into your stable that night. So yeah, getting there early, leaving enough time. I couldn't agree more. Leaving enough time to organise getting your horse in and not be in a rush. The grey ponies, keeping the blue fairy liquid. Apparently that is really good for keeping greys clean. Like I said, a few people said dry rugs. Another one that was getting I'm not sure if you guys have seen on TikTok, but they've been all over my TikTok. The portable hoses that you like dip in one end of, I think they're solar powered. I think some are solar powered at least. Dipping in the end of a water bucket, and then you get water out the other side. I feel like for a stay away, that'd be great. When it comes to where the hoses for like water is and stuff, it can get really muddy around them, just because like people leave water going, it spills out of water buckets. It gets really muddy there, and you don't want to be taking your clean grey horse or your not so clean grey horse and taking him over there, getting him even muddier when you're trying to clean him or her. So regarding back to the blue fairy liquid, that's also good for cleaning your greys and also cleaning your hands. Another one was said bring a bike. Obviously we touched over that. A tail bag for greys especially. I actually don't have a tail bag, and I've never had the problem with Roscoe getting his tail dirty, touch wood. He's always a hock person to get, a hock pony to get dirty. But maybe I should have a look at getting a new tail bag, or a tail bag. Okay, more tips and tricks from the people of Instagram. A refillable water bottle, and a hot flask or something like that to put your tea in to last all day. Wipes was another thing, you know, especially for Pony Club Champs last year. It was quite dusty for it being, because it was so hot, like there was nothing you could really do about that. But wet wipes are great. Another thing I would say, which wasn't said on Instagram, which I'm surprising, is take loads of baler twine. I know if you have hay, you have loads of baler twine laying around, unless you throw it straight away, but usually you've got loads of baler twine hanging around. Anything can fix it. Anything can be fixed with a baler twine. Another really good one, which I saw on Instagram, was a head torch or something like that, to do late night checks with, or early morning checks, just stuff like that. My Equilight lives in the lorry when I'm not using it in winter. And then an alarm clock, which I thought was a really good one from Instagram. You can't just solely rely on your phone, especially as you probably won't have any signal. You might be pretty low on battery, so you don't want to be running the risk of your phone dying and your alarm not going off. And then on the preferences of like sleeping and that sort of stuff, someone said earplugs, which I thought was a great one. Okay, I think I have covered everything now from both Instagram and, well, I think is good for stayaways. I want to repeat again, this is not a you need to take this to a stayaway. If you're not taking this to a stayaway, you're doing it wrong. This is not what this video is. This is more of a, I find these things really super helpful when I'm at stayaways, and I want to be able to help other people and maybe guide them into other things that they might not think about taking with them but also really need. So that is the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's something a little bit different. But I think if this goes well and I enjoy doing it, which I have, to be fair, then I'm going to do a pack for Ponying Up Chance with me. As I say, we've got 35 days now, so we've got some time. But I'm also going out venting before then, maybe going out venting twice. So there will be other vlogs, but though hopefully it's going to be a pack with me for Ponying Up Chance. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful more than anything, and I hope to see you at my next one. And if you want to go back to see where I qualified for Pony Cup Champs and how you do it, go find my other vlog. It might not be out yet, actually. But go and keep up to date with everything over on my Instagram and my TikTok. And then like, comment, and subscribe on here. Thanks so much for watching, guys.